Anybody else out there have a lifetime truck? Here's a little tip that I do every 4 or 5 years to make sure my truck is going to last a lifetime. So it's been about 5 years since I've had time to do this. So I painted the entire frame of my truck. There was getting to be some surface rust from the last time that I did it. And this is the procedure that I do for my lifetime vehicle. First, I pressure wash it very, very good, get off everything. Then I let it dry very, very well. Then I use a degreaser and I degrease everything. The frame, the wheel wells, every piece of metal is degreased. Even have to scrub it with a wire brush, and I'm talking the transmission, the transfer case, the wheel wells, the inside of the frame, even remove some of the wires away from the frame. Then after it's degreased and I have degreaser on, then I spend about $25 at the car wash, lift up the thing so I can get at all my back frame, and I soap it, wash it thoroughly well. Then I let everything dry for literally a day or two to make sure there's no water sitting anywhere. Then I take an oil-based paint. There's some really good ones out, but they're very expensive. The one I use is a Tremclad oil-based rust paint. And 1 can of it is about $87. I get it at Home Depot. And then I get 3 or 4 of the same color, the same black semi-gloss or whatever, spray cans. Now, what I'll do is just with a paintbrush, after it's absolute degreased, everything clean and dry, is I take my paintbrush and I putz along, and I am covered in paint right now, everywhere, despite having my painting gear on. I do the transmission, the transfer case, the leaf springs, everywhere where I can get at with the paintbrush, and I put it on thick, the entire frame. Every aspect, every piece of metal under there, I do with a brush underneath, laying under the truck, doing the frame from the top, from the bottom, the hoist, the hydraulic piston, the fuel tank, absolutely every piece of metal, the leaf springs inside, outside, in between, with a paintbrush. Then right after that, I take 3 or 4 spray cans of the same stuff, and anywhere I couldn't really get with the paintbrush, I do it with that. Now, this oil-based paint Tremclad that I use, now there's better ones out there, but again, not for the price. I let that dry for days now. Okay, I'll just let it do its thing. After that, I will take a fluid film. You could also use used motor oil, but I like a product called Fluid Film. And I film the entire underbody, transmission, transfer case, leaf springs, frame with fluid film. And I will, if I remember, do that kind of once a year with fluid film. And it's kind of, or an oil. And as long as there's a coating on the fresh painted metal, like, it lasts forever. So this truck, I mean, I'm going to have the rest of my life and my kids' lives. I don't drive it that much, only when I need a truck or whatever. But it is rust-free, right? That little bit of surface rust, steel brush, got it all off, degreased, put a fresh coat of that oil-based paint on, and then after it dries, fluid film. Under here, 2 body lines converge to a spot that collects moisture and gunk and wet dirt, and then it always rusts. So try to clean that out. Paint it if you can after you clean up rust, and put the fluid film in there. Why vehicle manufacturers still do this on rear rocker panels, it's beyond me. So every 3, 4, or 5 years, if you live somewhere where it's rusts your vehicles, that's what I do to all my vehicles. My van, my truck, my grain truck. On the box that gets wet and holds water, a little bit of surface rust again. So for the next few years, I fluid film all of that. Should fluid film and oil everything again. And then, you know, in another maybe 10 years with this one, I hit it again with some nice white paint. I painted this, I don't know how many years ago now. 2. My skid steer even, I will paint every 4 or 5 years. Same thing. Oh, this roof hasn't, it's been a while, but same thing. Wash, degrease, sand or just steel brush, wash again. Oil-based paint, just did the roof, just with a paintbrush. Yeah, you get brush marks. It's not like a hot rod paint job or nothing, but holds up, right? Surface rust on this sucker, oil-based paint, kind of everywhere. Yeah, why won't this last the rest of my life? Nice oil-based red paint. Good stuff. And I just did my flat deck trailer as well. Trailer was like really bad. So knocked all the big chunks of rust off and surface rust. Oil-based paint, thick, and then oiled everything. I didn't even use fluid film, just used motor oil on the deck and everything. Whole underbody. Got to do that trailer. I should do the underside of my enclosed trailer. It's just part of owning things and maintaining things so that they last the rest of your days, right? This one I did when I bought it a while back. And when I do use it, which isn't actually often, I wash it and put it away dry and clean. This thing goes up in value every single year. You can't buy a new stuff that's as good as the old stuff. I don't like old shit. I like old stuff, and I like to maintain it. My newest vehicle's 1999. Anything past 2000, not interested. Polish up some aluminum and stuff, but anything steel, that's the procedure. Then I should quickly add, this thing doesn't see the light of day. The sun doesn't touch it, the rain doesn't touch it unless I'm using it. When it's dirty or I have to drive in the rain or the mud, it gets washed and it gets put away nice and dry. Using way too many of these. So they had these on sale, 77 bucks a can. It's really thick, didn't work in my pump sprayer. So I ordered off Amazon an airless paint sprayer that takes my Makita batteries for 60 bucks. And apparently that airless sprayer works. So using too many of these, I don't like using them when I don't have to. So yeah, and that paint sprayer is going to be specifically labeled fluid film and oil only. Just keep on keeping on. See you next time. Bye-bye.